Today I am super excited to be putting together this fun pattern. I drafted this a little while ago and I am super excited to see how it turns out. I love the fact that it's just this cute little A-line skirt with this fullness on half of it. I think it's going to be adorable. So I'm super excited to start sewing. Let's get started.
Now that I have my pattern printed out, I'm going to trace around my pattern and mark all my notches so I can line everything up nice and pretty. Then I'm going to cut it on out. I'm going to just have a 1/2 inch seam allowance all the way around so that it lines up nicely. Now it's time to sew it together. I'm going to start with the center back seam, and I'm only going to sew halfway up so I can easily put this skirt on and off the form. Then next, I'm going to line up the front two pieces and pin them together so that they are kind of mimicking one piece. Then I'm going to pin them to the back, matching up my stitch lines, and sew those seams down. Now that's done, I'm going to press all these seams open and flat so it looks like a nice crisp line. And then I'm going to put it on the form. I am a little worried that this isn't quite as full as I want it to be, and it's not. So I think it's back to the drawing board.
So now that we see that I definitely didn't add enough fullness into the first pattern that I drafted for this cute A-line with the twist, we're gonna go back and just repattern it a little bit and make it so that it has a lot more fullness in there. Bringing up my half scale and my pattern. There we go. So that's what we're going for. That is not quite what we got. So we're gonna go all in, and I'm gonna put a 1/4 of a circle into that half of the skirt to get those nice full lines. I think there's gonna be at least a 1/4 of a circle in there. So I'm going to go ahead and we're gonna copy that one and that one, move it. There we go. And I'm just gonna move you up and out of the way. So, but I actually, okay, so I need that center line. So, let's move you out of the way. Let's get my drafting back on point. There we go. And that's my center line there. So we're just going to pen a line right on top of it. Didn't quite get it long enough. It's intersecting. Oh. There we go. Then I'm going to also get this part, copy, and paste. There we go. So now I have the two halves of my front of my pattern, and I just want to get rid of this half basically. So we're going to cut it away. Yeah, highlight you first. Okay, but you're going to be a pain. So we're going to cut. See if we can get it to cut on the intersect. Did I get it? I did. And let's ungroup so I can move it. There we go. Before I fully delete it though, I'm actually going to cut one more so that I know the waist. So now we have this as our waist. So let's open up our information. We're at 3.73. So now we gotta do some circle math because we want to get a 1/4 of a circle. So we're gonna bring up our calculator. 3.73. Was I? Yes, okay. Double checking numbers is sometimes good. So that is a 1/4 of our circle. So we're gonna times that by 4 to get the full length of our circle. So that is the circumference of our circle. Now to get the radius, we need to C equals 2 pi r, but we don't want the radius, we want the diameter, so we don't want the 2. So we're just going to divide this by pi, 3.14, 4.75. Cool. So then I'm going to go up here and we're going to draft a 4.75 rectangle, and we're going to get it into a circle, and 4.92. We got it. We did our math correctly. Yes. So then I'm just actually gonna move that a little bit. Then we're going to draft some lines. We're gonna go 5 at, oh, I'm still on a rectangle. We want lines. We want 5 at 0, and we want 5 at 270. And I'm gonna highlight them, and I'm going to arrange them so they are all, whoops, wrong one, centered. There we go. Zooming out. Then the next thing we need to figure out is the length. So because I have that center front line where I'm going to add it in, we're going to go with that. So 9.6. So we're going to do 9.6. So 4.7 plus 9.6 equals 14.35. So then we're going to do another square. 14.35. Whoops. 14.35. We're going to bring that on in. Doot, doot, doot. We're going to recenter everything again. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring those anchor points out and down. Doot, doot, doot. And then we're going to cut the circle apart. And we want to also cut the inner circle apart. Then I should be able to grab So what just happened there is I then also didn't cut the lines apart. So let's actually cut the lines apart at the correct intersection. There we go. Now we should be able to grab. Perfect. Then I'm going to pull that just a little bit further. I'm going to highlight this and we're going to bring it down. Yep. So let's talk about what I just did. I did not do my second circle math very good. So I did the radius plus the diameter of the smaller circle. So we need to now go back. So we're just going to delete that because this inner circle is still good. I'm going to go ahead and delete that guy. So let's bring up that calculator again. I let it go away. So calculator. There we go. So do I have a history on this guy? No history, because I deleted it. That's okay. It was 14.35 minus 4. What number did I do? So if you cannot remember 4.75. You cannot remember the numbers. I should have written them down, and I didn't. You can always like remeasure it, that type of stuff. So we're doing 4.75. So we're going to, I'm also going to double check this number. So it's 9.63. So 9.63 times 2 plus 4.75. That's definitely not what I wanted. Okay, where did I make my, so 9.63 times 2 equals 19, there we go, plus 4.75, 24.01. That sounds much better. So let's get another square going at 24.01. And we're going to pull that into a circle, highlight, this is going to be Oh no, it'll be okay. Okay, so we're gonna try this and hopefully it works because I kind of cut it off, but it looks good. And then I'm actually going to use this quarter of the circle and just rotate it since I've already cut away and deleted that other one. So we're going to grab this line and we're gonna lengthen, not pull, everything. Let's get the anchor point free. There we go. And if you hold shift, it'll keep you going straight on that angle because we are straight set up. There we go. Now we're going to try cutting apart this circle at the 2 anchor points. Now we're going to cut the inner circle, and we also want to cut the lines. Let's see if I cut everything right. Boom! And I did. So I'm actually going to leave this center front one totally apart. But I am going to go ahead and join these two because they're going to be the side seams. Then we're going to highlight and we're going to rotate. Ooh, not like that. So I was on the wrong tool. I want to highlight and rotate on the select all, not the direct select. And we want to go -90. Okay. Now let's see. There it is. Okay. Let's see. There we go. That looks much happier. That lines up perfectly. Who knew if you did circle math right? So there we go. We have that. So I can now get rid of those center lines. And I can join the rest of this pattern just like so. We're also going to give myself a guideline, so I'm going to just create a line up that edge because I know it's straight. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight just the line. Oh wait, no, I want to actually, I'll just pen it on top. So I'm just going to pen on top another marking line. I'm going to highlight that and that small guideline that I'm doing. And then I'm going to pop it up here. Maybe. Why did you do that? I don't know why it did that, but we're going to try that one more time. So I want the top line and that line, and we're going to move it up here. There we go. That's what it should look like. Then we are going to rotate it, right on there, and we have a hash mark to line up our side seam in the back with the side seam in the front. Since it is a little bit of a curve to a straight line, those guidelines are essential. There we go. So that's going to give me a lot more fullness. I'm actually really excited about this one. So hopefully that will work. The next thing I am going to do is I'm actually going to jump. No. What I'm going to do, I am going to copy, paste front. Then I'm going to grab just that front layer and I'm going to cut away the hem. There we go. And I'm going to pen out a new hem to have that nice little And the last hem I had it very harsh there and I did not like it either. So that's the good thing. If you make a mock-up of what you're trying to build before you build it, you can actually catch quite a few of your mistakes. In theater, we do that all the time to make sure that we are building the garment, the exact garment the designer wants. Yeah. I like that. So then I'm just going to drop a line, do 4 because at 270, give me a green line, and doot, 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 V, and then we're gonna go copy front. I'm gonna highlight that one and highlight that one. I think I need, there we go. We're gonna group that, and then we should be able to move it, and it moves everything and it leaves half. Perfect. Then I'm just going to grab, ooh, that's close. I only grab the one, and we're going to group that. There we have it. I'm much more excited to give this one a try. So let's print this guy out and move back to our sewing machine and try this new pattern for this skirt, because I do really want to make this skirt for myself. It looks so cute. So let's print this guy on out.
Time to go for try 2. Now that I have it printed out, I'm going to tape together all my pattern pieces. Then I'm going to cut them all out so that I will be able to trace them out on my fabric again. I'm going to line up my grain line and add my 1/2 inch seam allowance around everywhere. Now, the one thing you do have to remember is the fact that this is an asymmetrical dress. So you want to make sure that you are cutting the fabric the right way for both the fronts, because if you cut one way and one the other way and you have fabric that has a right side and a wrong side, you're going to run into problems. Now it's time to sew this one together. So I'm going to first do the two front pieces. I'm going to pin them so they are acting more as one piece. And then I'm going to pin on, matching up my stitch lines, the side seam all the way down and making sure that notch also lines up. Then I'm just going to sew it all the way to the top. Then I'm going to repeat on the other side, line them up, pin it, and stitch it. The last seam I need to do is that center back. And again, I want to make sure that I don't go all the way up to the waist, because I want to ensure I can get it on and off my dress form. I'm going to go ahead and press all these seams open so that gives a nice crisp line. Always makes your patterns look so much better when you use the iron. And look at that. Now that she's on the form, she looks so much more like the photo. I am so much happier.
And there we have it. Now that I redrafted this skirt and have it, it has a much better fullness. This is the first one that I sewed in the first part of the video. Not very full, not very fun. And then comparing to this one right here, check that out. That is beautiful. I love the folds in it, and it looks so much more like the picture. I am super excited to have this in half scale, and now I am super excited to draft this for myself. Definitely check back soon for a pattern in full scale size. If you enjoyed this video, definitely make sure to like and subscribe so that you can see other fun videos or get this pattern when it comes out, because it's super cute. And also so that we can also digitally pattern together. If you missed, well, you missed the initial drafting, that's okay. But there's a lot of other fun, sassy skirts that we have drafted. They're really fun. Definitely make sure to check out that playlist. So I hope to see you in some of my other videos. Happy patterning!